how everybody's communicating with each other around the country at all these different Occupy protests throughout the country. It's a very clean area. We've seen a lot of people going around picking up trash. Take a look down on the ground. You'll see. You don't see all kinds of debris and stuff, and they've been here now for a day or so. But people are trying to put up the tarps, get settled in for the night because they expect to be here. Although right now, still a big question whether they're going to stay here Sunday or vacate and then come back. But this is what's happening right now. Everybody's settling in for tonight. Still very peaceful. People sharing food, people sharing tents if they need it. Whatever they need, they're all helping each other out. Still a very positive mood. And the people say they're very glad. They say one reason possibly it's been so peaceful is there's a Democratic president. A lot of these folks definitely side with the Democratic president. Back to you.
Okay, Lisa Balick giving us a perspective on the protesters gathered in downtown. And here's the question. What do you get when you cross a marathon race, a big one, and a big protest? In our case, you get a stalemate. And our reporter Eric Taylor live in downtown Portland, where protesters and Portland Marathon officials are trying to figure out a way that everybody wins in this weekend. And they're still in the middle of negotiations, Eric?
Yeah, actually, Jeff, they have wrapped up. You saw it here live on KOIN Local 6. It was quite interesting to watch them talk it out. It seemed pretty amicable. Now, we showed you that live about an hour ago. Let me give you some perspective, because everybody you've been seeing is kind of in the thick of it. Lisa was interviewing the race official back there behind me, kind of closer toward Chapman Park. And just to give you some perspective, Jeff, Chapman Park is south of us in the distance. I'm at Lonsdale Park right here, and this is not really occupied by the protesters at this point. Protesters who have been here since Thursday. Problem is they are right, as we've shown you, in the hub for the Portland Marathon, which takes place on Sunday. Now, setup work begins tomorrow morning around 7 o'clock. Marathon officials say they're confident they can get everything set up if they are delayed. One official told me, Jeff, describes it like setting up for a Springsteen concert, but they have done it enough to be able to get it up and running quickly. But runners and walkers we spoke to here in downtown have some concerns about being able to perform their best.
As long as they're not dashing out and causing disruption, then that's fine. But I'd rather have them not there. But, you know, if they're there, just stay off the street and let the people finish.
There are going to be 12,000 runners. With family and spectators, that number will be much higher, possibly 14. Keeping it all straight, you guys, is a big task, even in a normal year when there is not a protest to contend with. To give you some more perspective, the start line is one block down there on Taylor. The finish line is right over there. Can you see it by the yellow banner you see there by the Justice Center? That's just by the finish line. So you can understand the concern that walkers and runners have when they're booking down there to make the best time. Some of these people trying to qualify for bigger races like the Boston Marathon, they do not want to be delayed by someone who happens to be wandering out onto the street. We are reporting for you live from downtown Portland. Eric Taylor, KOIN Local 6. Jeff?
Yeah, this is not a fun run. This is a run where they're qualifying
Serious
for other
stuff.
races.
Yep.
And so they're trying to preserve the integrity of the actual race course. Now, our reporter Jenny Hansen live right in front of the Portland Police Bureau. And Jenny, you're standing in front of the area where police would stage for chaos or a riot, but everyone is getting along. This is very peaceful.
Yes, it is very peaceful, Jeff. You know, police have had riot gear officers on standby, but they have not had to use them. And even the protesters themselves all day long have been singing the praises of police. Now, the officers that are working out there at Chapman Square and Tent City, they've been mingling with the protesters, posing for pictures, even standing among them to listen to the speeches. Lieutenant Robert King says that so far they've only made those 2 arrests for tagging this morning. That included downtown businesses and a police car. And the protesters we spoke with say those 2 people are not representative of what's happening out here and that the police have been nothing but cool.
Like, we had a drum circle earlier and we had a policeman come up and hang a bicycle with some drumsticks. They were totally welcome here as much as any other person.
A group of Occupy protesters met at the police bureau earlier today to come up with some solutions, and it sounds like they have done that because, you know, all along police have said that really making arrests in these cases is a last resort option for them. By the way, a lot of officers working overtime for this event. Police do decline to say exactly how many officers they have working Occupy Portland, but they say there are dozens of them, and as you can imagine, the overtime costs are racking up. We should have those those numbers for you and see what this costs the city, at least this portion of it, sometime next week or the week after that. Reporting for you live from downtown Portland, Jenny Hansen, KOIN Local 6.
Yeah, there always is an economic impact to the city. Jenny, thank you. We're asking our Facebook friends if they think the Portland Police Bureau is doing a good job in handling the protest. Bruce says this is turning out to be a really good rally. Very proud of both sides. Dina agrees, saying, I am proud to live in Portland. Our police, in my opinion, are doing a great job. So are the people protesting. We need the point to be made, not just to get coverage on riots. So we want to know what you think. Find us on Facebook, hit like to join in the conversation. Well, some of the protesters are louder than others, but all of them are there to protest the same thing: corporate greed. KOIN Local 6 reporter Carly Kennelly walked through the crowd to get reaction.
The protesters here mainly want to get their message across, no matter how long it takes. You can see their frustrations written out on the signs. What American dream? We the people, not we the corporation. And all seem to have some sort of story to tell. We spent some time talking with Ken Watson, who has been out here since Thursday and hasn't slept once. He says he's here representing his family and friends, who he says have done everything right, but have fallen deep into debt with no one there to bail them out.
This debt accrues interest faster than they can get a job to pay it off at. So, you know, I've witnessed my own friends and family be hurt by the system.
We also took a walk down the street to hear from those people who are not part of the protest. We found one guy who didn't want to give us his opinion at all because he felt he had nothing nice to say. Another passerby told us he believes the protesters have the right to be here and express their feelings, but he doesn't agree with them.
You know, I've been unemployed in the last few years because of the economy at times, but for people that really want to work hard, there's jobs out there.
Everyone here is very willing to express their opinion, but what I've heard a lot about is how nice everyone has been, including police. Reporting for you in downtown Portland, Carly Kennelly, KOIN Local 6.
Carly, thank you. Here's the bottom line on this protest. Demonstrators holding a non-violent sit-in at 2 downtown Portland parks right in the heart of downtown. They spent the night there last night. They plan to spend the night again. They're not saying if or when they plan to leave, but they are prepared for arrests. However, Portland police say they have no plans to arrest anyone. Portland Marathon organizers have permits for these parks and have been meeting with protesters all afternoon to come up with some kind of compromise for the big race this weekend. If protesters are forced from the park, they say they'll meet up again at 7 tonight at Waterfront Park. Stay with KOIN Local 6 for any new developments, and stay with us for more on the Occupy Portland movement and the decision to hold a sit-in at Chapman Square in Lonsdale Park, right in downtown. We'll have continuous updates on the protests throughout the evening. And if anything breaks, we'll bring it to you live as it's happening. So stay with us.